Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean, I've been very excited to do this one. In a world where pirates roam the seas, krakens lurk the depths, and the Flying Dutchman snatches souls, there's plenty to be afraid of. I'm your host, Angelo Ligero, and here are your top 10 Pirates of the Caribbean scary urban legends. Starting our list right, we have Jack Sparrow's mom is a cannibal. Not much is really known about Jack's mom, except her shrunken skull that was shown towards the end of the third installment at World's End. However, fans have theorized that Jack Sparrow's mother is actually a part of a cannibal tribe. Jack Sparrow's dad, Edward Teague, was a fearsome pirate with fortune that only few could imagine. But it's believed that he ended up on an island that inhabited the Naga tribe of India. My main reasoning for this is that the Nagas' flamboyant use of braids and beads in their hair. Compared to pirates like Barbarossa, Sparrow, and Teague's outfits hold clear tribal significance. No other pirate in the movie has braids like Jack and Ed has. Teague has feathers on the front of his hat, similar to how the Naga warriors would wear on their heads. Also, Jack was said to have been born on a pirate ship caught in a typhoon off the coast of India. It's said that he keeps these traditions with him, and that's why Jack Sparrow looks the way he does. At number 9, we have the iconic Kraken. If you haven't been living under a rock, you should definitely know this mythological beast. In the second installment, Dead Man's Chest, the Kraken was introduced. It attacked the Black Pearl ship, and no matter what the crew does, how many weapons they try to use, nothing can stop it. Eventually, it would bring the whole ship down. The Kraken is not only part of the movie, but a part of Scandinavian folklore. It's said that the Kraken is a sea monster described to look like a giant squid that is around 100 feet in length with gigantic tentacles enough to take down ships whole. To take ships down, the Kraken will sometimes swim in circles around the ship, causing a fierce maelstrom which helps sink the ship. To think that 5% of the world's oceans have been explored, it makes us truly wonder if the Kraken is under there. Coming in at our number 8 spot, we have the Flying Dutchman. Seen in the movies as a ghostly ship, it's said that the very timbers of the ship are cut from the bodies and souls of doomed seamen. According to lore, the Flying Dutchman was originally used to collect the souls of who died at sea and take them to the afterlife. But back in the day when piracy was a thing, many feared encountering the ship in the open oceans. In the movie, the Flying Dutchman would be sailed by the iconic Davy Jones. When I think about him, I think about SpongeBob Davy Jones' locker, but the legend is much darker. The Flying Dutchman was given to Davy Jones by his love, the sea goddess Calypso. For 10 years, he could freely come ashore to meet with Calypso, but as time went by, she would suddenly stop appearing, causing Davy Jones to carve out his own heart and lock it away in Dead Man's Chest. His original duty of collecting souls and ferrying them to the afterlife completely 180'd, and he would end up wreaking havoc among the 7 seas. At number 7, we have the Devil's Triangle. In the 5th installment, Dead Man Tell No Tales, Jack Sparrow is hunted down by his old foe, Captain Salazar, who is a ghost set free from the Devil's Triangle. The Triangle's supernatural abilities revive Captain Salazar and his whole crew, causing him to have vast amounts of power. However, the Triangle is really based on the infamous Bermuda's Triangle. In real life, this body of water is situated in the Caribbean that connects Florida, Puerto Rico, and the country of Bermuda together, making a triangle. Boom, easy geometry. And this place should be avoided at all times, just like in the movie. It holds countless disappearances, including one of a squadron of US Navy bombers who completely vanished in good weather with no distress calls given. This place is shown in the movie and in real life to be a place no one should be going. Falling in at our number 6 spot, we have the fall of the Aztec Empire. In the movie, Orlando Bloom plays Will Turner, who teams up with Captain Jack Sparrow to rescue a loved one, Elizabeth Swan, from a crew of cursed skeletal pirates. The curse that was placed on the pirates was from a real-world figure who caused the fall of the Aztec Empire, Hernan Cortez. He was a 16th century Spanish traveler who was one of the first Spanish colonizers of America. He would move around the Caribbean and would intentionally cause indigenous tribes to battle one another. He would also force many to work for him while stealing gold and treasures from the Aztecs. From all this money and power, he took over the Aztec Empire using the sword of Cortez, which was said to make him unstoppable. And he also claimed the land under the King of Castile in Spain. It's said that he put a curse on his loot, and whoever tried to steal the curse would become damned. Right in the hump of our list, we have Blackbeard. Edward Teach, better known as Blackbeard, was a famous English pirate who operated in the West Indies throughout the 18th century. Just like in the movies, Blackbeard was a name surrounded by fear and terror. He was notorious for sailing the Queen Anne's Revenge ship, which was a ship that used the bones of his victims, which definitely gave enemies a fair warning before engaging in combat. He would also be very cruel to his own crewmates, even going as far as treating them worse than his prisoners. After being prophesied about his death, he knew that he would have to locate the Fountain of Youth, and with the help of Captain Jack Sparrow, they went out and found the location, only to be met with the British Royal Navy. Blackbeard is quite possibly the greatest pirate to ever exist. Going down the list at number 4, we have Calypso. At the end of Dead Man Tell No Tales, when Davy Jones' heart gets stabbed and his body tossed into the sea, we hear Calypso laughing while she vanishes out of thin air. But who really is this? According to lore, she was a daughter of Atlas, who is the goddess of silence. Being a bored lass, she made it a point in her life to make sure people did not complete their task. She was also known as the goddess of deception because of her ability to distract sailors with her beauty, only to lead them to ruin and destruction because they would fail to pay attention to what they're supposed to be doing. She would be Davy Jones's partner and would be the one telling him what to do and how to do it. Basically, he was I'm just joking. You get what I mean. She was very powerful and could conjure up some of the worst natural disasters possible in the seas. Let's just hope she's still not out there. All the way at our number 3 spot, we have human bones in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. This popular attraction is a boat ride that lets guests travel through the world of pirates and real human bones. Well, it was reported that when it was first built, the developers were so strict on the realism aspect of it all that they brought in real human skulls from the UCLA Medical Center to meet their high standards. Eventually, as the technology improved, they began making realistic skeletons instead to replace the real ones, saving them from further controversy. Disneyland states that there are no longer human remains on the ride, but others are convinced, saying that some remains still exist, including the skull on the headboard of the ride. It's definitely creepy to decorate a ride with actual human bones, but we think that Jack Sparrow would approve. At our number 2 spot, we have Mermaids. Captain Jack Sparrow first encountered the Mermaids in Isla Sirena during his quest for the Sword of Cortez. His shipmates were affected by the Song of the Sirens, but Jack himself remained immune to its influence. Eventually, the situation became worse and Jack was tricked into handing over the prized possession, the Eye of Stone-Eyed Sam, in exchange for the lives of his crew. Well, mermaids aren't anything new, and in this movie, they show some of their abilities pretty well. For example, mermaids are said to have a list of powers and abilities that sets them apart from other mythological creatures. As done in the movie, they are said to use sirens or their voices to lure sailors to their deaths and control their minds. They are also able to shapeshift between human and mermaid forms, also having the ability to control the weather and water around them. I'm guessing Ariel the mermaid is not as innocent as you think, or maybe she's controlling our minds to think that she is. Regardless, I'd be dumb enough to fall for a mermaid. Taking our number 1 spot, we have the Fountain of Youth. In the movies, Davy Jones urgently tries to locate the Fountain of Youth because he simply wants to live forever, haunting the 7 seas. As said, Jack Sparrow set off on a small vessel to locate this, while taunting Davy Jones about an immortal Jack Sparrow. I mean, that would be pretty awesome, right? But they soon realized that they're not the only ones looking for it. So what is so special about this Fountain of Youth? Well, legend goes that the fountain is able to restore the youth of anyone who drinks or bathes in its water. In the movie, it was located on a mysterious island in the Caribbean. However, its real locations aren't known. All that is known is that whoever finds it is never able to tell the story. Well, just for future reference, who wants to go to the journey for this fountain when they hit a midlife crisis? Well, there we have it, our top 10 Pirates of the Caribbean scary urban legends. I'm a huge fan of the franchise, so please let me know if anything on the list surprised you. I'm your host, Andrew, and we hope you have a scary day.